Hi, good evening. This is a foreigner in the Philippines. Well, when I was coming back yesterday, I think it was, from Taliban, and I was making the trip back to Itafi. So one of the things that flashed by me, literally, were three bikers. Now, these were three bikers with a difference. And even though you may hear me speak of American expats as being whining and whinging because it's not the same here as it is in America, where, as we know, everything is perfect. Yeah. These three bikers looked to me absolutely American, and they were on huge bikes, 600,000cc bikes, just roaring along. Now, what was the difference? What made me want to talk about them is because as I looked at them, they were so immaculately turned out for the job of biking. Now, these were serious bikers and they looked totally professional. Now, the thing is that in America, biking on the big bikes is taken very, very seriously. The safety aspect is taken seriously. Their helmets are top of the line. Even their gauntlets are steel reinforced, boots that are steel reinforced, all against the possibility of injury, and all with safety in mind. They're the total pros, and they look the part. These three guys, it's not that I got a hugely terrific look at them because they passed me, but I did get the whole sound of the bikes, big bikes, big engines, with that deep-throated, comparatively quiet sound compared to the 100cc bikes that are most common here in the Philippines. I mean, they don't go in for big bikes here in the Philippines. Well, no, why would anybody try to afford to run one of those monsters? They just don't do it. So they're rather rare, and they are a beautiful sight. And then I watch these guys cruise on by, not speeding, at just the right speed. Good riders. It just made me realize that it's not surprising that Filipinos, almost to a man, meaning man and woman, think of America as a great paradise, a place to strive for. Because when you see a well-turned-out biker, for instance, they do it so well. All of their gear is so great. The bikes are immaculate. You know, I used to joke when I was in America that it was impossible to find a dirty or even slightly soiled Harley Davidson. In fact, I went up with my dry sense of humor once to a Harley rider who was standing by his bike, which was just like a new pin. I mean, it didn't look as if the tires touched the ground. It was so beautifully clean. And I said to him, "Oh, there's a little spot of dirt there." He said, "Where?" I said, "Oh, sorry, it was just a fly." He didn't think it was funny. He thought that his bike should look like that, which, if he saw something that I'm riding, he would probably shoot me. But the fact is that in no other country in the world do they know how to do it over the top as they do in America. Nobody in the world does it like that. Nobody would ever have a whole section of society that rides Harley Davidsons and keeps them perfect, a brotherhood of riders. Nowhere. the V8s in a V8 in a small car. In other countries, it just doesn't exist. Americans do over the top as an art form. I don't believe anybody in the world could invent a muscle car. And we're talking about the invention now. We're talking about first time. Everybody can come in later like the Japanese did and imitate the Harley Davidson, although they can't actually imitate the Harley Davidson because they insist on making an engine which is state-of-the-art modern. Whereas an engineer once explained to me how the Harley Davidson engine is designed. What he told me, and who am I as a non-engineer musician to contradict his word, but he made the comment that when they designed the Harley Davidson V engine, it looks like this, what they did was they took the rotary engine of an aeroplane where the whole thing is going around like this, or I should go like that for you, right? And there's a cylinder every so often as it goes around the circle, and it goes like that. And then what they did was they just cut two out like that. So the Harley gets that special sound by going pa-tum, pa-tum, pa-tum. So it's firing 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And it gets a totally unique sound. There's no sound in the world like a Harley engine. It just is American. Now, here's another thing about America. America is the only country in the world where whatever your nationality is, whatever your colour is, you can be black, white, orange, green, whatever you are. You can be from, I don't know, you can be from the UK. You can go over there and talk awfully well like this, you know, and you can still be an American. You can go from South America. You can go from, I don't know, Zimbabwe. You can be black. You can be white. You can be any of these things and go to America, live there as a good guy, contribute to the country, to the economy, do your bit and be, as I say, be a good citizen. And you can take your citizenship and you can stand up there and call yourself an American. And the American that's standing next to you, that was born there, will accept you as a fellow American. You can't go to China and take citizenship there and say to a Chinese man, I'm Chinese. He'll look at you like that and go, no, I don't think so. Of course he wouldn't say it like that, would he? You could go anywhere. You could go to Brazil. You can go to Brazil. You can go to, well, maybe England is getting so cosmopolitan now that you can say that you're British, because so many people of various nationalities are going there and taking citizenship, and they call themselves British. So maybe almost the same degree, but not quite. So what are the Americans? Why do they come over here and achieve this almost godlike status? And they do. Because I'm white, little kids call me Cano. Cano, Americano. And they don't know. I mean, I can tell those little kids until the cows come home. Excuse me, I'm not Cano, I'm British, if you don't mind. And I'm sure that they will reply, all of them in unison, Cano, Cano. So, I don't try. I'm a Cano. I once pulled out of the warehouse where I was buying some materials for my house, and a man was standing in the street with his child, a little boy of about 2 years old. And the man looked down, got his little boy's attention, And he pointed to me and he said to the kid, "Look, a cano." Talk about objectifying someone. But anyway, that's one of those things. But that's because the Americans came over here, and not to talk about what they may have took or robbed or degraded. Let's just talk about the good things that they did. They were revered and admired by the Filipinos to a degree that made them almost like warriors, like champions. Which brings me back full circle to my 3 motorcycle riders. They all looked absolutely untouchable, like 3 Darth Vaders going along the road. Perfect bikes, perfect gear, perfect riders, perfect Americans, to be admired. Americans did a lot of good, and I did have a great deal of good experiences when I was there. It's just that later I wanted something else, not something more, although in a way more, something else. So here's to the American warrior bikers. Those 3, you were seen, and I've reported on you. You were going from somewhere around Atafi to Taliban, and you were riding along the road in that direction when I saw you. You looked great, guys. You looked really great. That's all from me. I'm a foreigner living in the Philippines.